to Business Review, a daily program that delves into the latest and most significant economic stories. From stock markets to currency news, Business Review covers the most up-to-date developments in the global finance.
China's offshore oil and gas production equivalent hit a record high by exceeding 65 million tons in 2020, which was achieved by following the ways of tapping potential of domestic exploration and significantly relying on innovation-driven sci-techs, according to China National Offshore Oil Corporation. Offshore oil and gas production has become an important part of China's energy security. Lihua 16-2 offshore oil fields cluster, China's first domestic support deepwater oil and gas project, has successfully completed the 15th oil extraction operation. The oil fields cluster has exported more than 800,000 tons of crude oil since it started production 3 months ago. All 11 new oil and gas development projects in China's domestic waters have been put into operation since the beginning of this year. Pudong 19-6 has been put into operation smoothly in North China's Buhai Bay, setting a record for the shortest offshore oil and gas field construction cycle in China. China's largest high-temperature and high-pressure offshore gas field, Dangfeng 13-2, has opened up new growth points for China's offshore oil and gas development.
The just concluded annual Central Economic Work Conference in China stressed that the country has become an economy with growth this year and scored decisive achievements in 3 key battles: in science tech innovations, key breakthroughs in reform and opening up, as well as improvements in people's livelihoods. According to the conference in China, its growth continued to be positive in 2020 as the GDP is expected to expand 1.9% this year. In the area of industrialization, the growth in the Northeast as a whole was the best in recent years. In the second half of the year, industrial production in China's Northeast Jilin and Heilongjiang provinces grew at the fastest year-on-year since 2013. In June this year, the entire Litang County achieved full 5G signal coverage, and in July, the first 5G base station was put into operation. Before 2012, only 150,000 tourists came to Litang County in the Tibet Autonomous Region for sightseeing. Now the number increased to 1.1 million Chinese, boosting tourism revenue 13 times. For the economic outlook in 2021, the conference in China mapped out a number of measures to boost domestic consumption, such as create more jobs, improve social protection system, and expand middle-income groups.
A report released by the World Bank on Wednesday predicted that the economic growth in China may get 2% in 2020, higher than 1.6% projected in July. The report also said the figure may rise to 7.9% in 2021, in response to improved consumer and business confidence and better labor market conditions. According to Sebastian Eckert, the World Bank's lead economist for China, China's economy has achieved a V-shaped recovery after it brought the COVID-19 pandemic under control. He said that the economic recovery in the first half of this year was attributed to the industry's first resumption of work and production, as well as the government's macro policies and large-scale public investment, and the recovery momentum in the second half of this year has showed a balancing trend. The logistics demand in China continued to improve in the first 11 months of this year, showing strong market vitality, according to latest data released by the China Federation of Logistics and Purchasing on Thursday. The total value of social logistics in the first 11 months was 266.2 trillion yuan, an increase of 3% year-on-year, and the growth rate went up by 0.5 percentage points compared with the figure in the first 10 months. The industrial logistics demand saw a steady growth, and the demand for import logistics maintained a relatively fast growth momentum. Generally, the logistics demand for people's livelihood consumption steadily recovered. From January to November, the total volume of logistics for institutions and residents increased by 13.9% year-on-year, with the growth rate going up by 0.1 percentage points compared with the figure in the first 10 months, and it remained above 10% for 6 consecutive months. The scale of industrial goods logistics were in accelerated recovery, and the growth rate accelerated for 3 consecutive months. In the manufacturing industry, demand for high-tech manufacturing, equipment manufacturing, and consumer goods manufacturing logistics rebounded in an all-around way.
This has been Business Review, your daily source for the most critical financial stories. Tune in next time for the latest financial news impacting the world economy.